Hey everyone, it's me again, Vaughn, and after all these years, I'm bringing to you my condensed knowledge after all these experiments and research and just money being thrown at the problem. I've discovered so many cool things in so many different areas. I've been able to synthesize it's like you're getting all these different pieces of information and you're putting it together and you got something now, something really cool. It's like a machine, like a car. An engine by itself, not very interesting. Wheels, what do you do with wheels, color on a car, like the paint, that's cool. Radio, that's cool. Put it together, now you got a car. Okay, pretty cool. MacBook, you got a screen, you got this, you got that, DVD. Put it together, you got a MacBook. Beautiful design, fonts, everything. So that's what I've been attempting to do here with Harmonium Universalis, my upcoming book. But this is not what I'm kind of plugging myself for a little bit. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the Big Yang. Okay, and anytime I talk to people about the Big Yang, they find it extremely fascinating. And really, this is not about the woman's perspective on the matter. This is kind of like just a man's perspective on life and the game of life and relationships and yin and yang. So I like to clarify a few things. First of all, let's talk. This is basically about man and woman relationships, and this is about energy, and this is about dynamics. Okay, romantic dynamics and that sort of thing. But it's not just about romantic. It's about leadership. It's about space. So. Okay, let's start from the beginning, okay? We have biologically male, biologically female. Now there's in between, okay, too. There's hermaphrodites and there's other type of humans out there biologically. I'm not going to get into that. I don't know much about that, okay? I'm just going to talk to just male and female, okay? It's man, or no, hang on. There's male, female. Okay, so check this out. So there's the biological male, there's the biological female. Material, bodies, like stuff that like if you hit against the wall, right, it hurts. Okay? But then there's a level of the mind and the emotions. That's the gender. Okay? So you can have, for example, there's the masculine gender, there's the feminine gender. Now you can have a woman that's very masculine, even more so than most men. But she's in a woman's body, okay, or female body. But she's very masculine. Even her interest, her attitude, everything. She could be, for all intents and purposes, a man. And then you have ultra feminine beings, okay? So they're just very feminine in a female body. And vice versa for men too. Some men are very feminine and some men are very masculine, So So everyone has to kind of decide what kind of relationship that they want to be in. And so it's like if you're a very feminine man, you may want to experiment with becoming a bit more feminine, becoming kind of more neutral, becoming very masculine, kind of finding your range if you haven't found that. And the same thing with women. I've noticed some women, they've tried to become very kind of masculinized, or they're ambiguous about that. But as they experience more woman or womanly states or more feminine states, they like it, and it's all different. There's different contexts. Maybe at work they might want to have a more masculine energy or feminine energy. In a relationship they might, it all mixes and matches. Anyway, the point isn't that. The point is that's like the background. So you have these relationships, and the man's energy is yang. Okay, so in this case we're gonna say that this physical man is also very masculine, and this physical woman is very feminine. Okay, so they've matched up. So we're going to talk about that case, and you can kind of figure it out from there what's going on. So man is yang. What is yang? Woman is yin. What's yin? So if you look at electrodynamic phenomenon, right, like the physics perspective, yin is negative, man is positive. When I say negative, that doesn't mean like she's a downer, she's negative, she's bad, she's, like negative, like a negative person or negative emotional. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is just pure, like in physics, you don't have that kind of like, value judgment on that. We just have it as like positive and negative. And positive things have certain phenomena they exhibit, and negative things have certain phenomena they exhibit. So the woman's energy, if you look at her just physiologically, she's designed to pull things in. And the woman's energy is about attracting, pulling, getting attention, yes? And creating space. See, a woman kind of creates a space around herself. Okay? There's a and usually there's a lot of flow to it. That's my experience of woman's energy. There's a kind of a flow. There's a kind of a and like when you're around a real mothering kind of woman, you could kind of feel this kind of, it's almost like tactile. This kind of, like I used to work for this lady named Maria Grove. She had a massage gun. When she would just like hug me, she's like this big lady. She used to like hug me. I could just feel this like my space would just soften up. I would just soften up, And men, the masculine energy is about order, structuring the space. Okay? So, and women could do this too, but we're looking at it from just this kind of like masculine man, feminine woman, right? Kind of model here. So, a lot of people talk about the motherland, the fatherland. What does that mean? Well, the motherland, is the materials of the world. Okay? It's the waters. Let's say the United States has a motherland, right? United States motherland, what is that? It's the soil, it's the plants, it's the people, it's the materials, the solid things. Okay, earth, like Mother Earth. It's like the materials of it. The waters, the ores, the buildings, you name it, has mass. And if you look, what do women do when one of the most amazing things women can do is basically bring mass into this world with a baby, okay? And they can hold that mass. So mass is, and also there's another thing, and this is kind of a consumer thing, but women also have this thing that I've noticed, but maybe it's international because I've noticed this kind of cross culturally, but it could be capitalism. But there's a shopping thing. There's an element of acquiring materials. There's this kind of element to that, and maybe that's looking too deep into it, but maybe not. And so the fatherland is all the culture. Okay, the culture would be like the schools, the technology, the you have the dirt, and then you have the father energy put into it, and now you have this dirt turned into like rebarb or something for the building, okay? And so that's like the masculine father energy. So you got the fatherland, you have the motherland. So you have culture, and you have the materials. And then we're like sitting in between of that, right? The universities, the technology, the laws, right? Like the implementation of law. So, okay, so back to relationships. So, man is going out there like a young man, and he's basically dating, right? Just approaching women, doing different things, different activities in the romantic realm. And what happens is he's basically being yang. And then woman looks at him and goes, he's cute, he's interesting, I like him, I trust him, I feel good around him. Boom, magic happened, okay? Now, yang and yin come together, and you have, boom, children, right? But man can also become a greater yang, or what I call big yang. Okay, big yang is when you basically become so powerful in your beingness, okay, that you start to expand into, see, the world that you live in as a man, it's like your culture, okay? And so if you have a certain type of culture, that naturally attracts a certain type of woman that has that kind of like culture in her, kind of, she's attracted to that culture, and then boom, things happen, right? But when a man becomes so powerful that he's basically expanding culture, he starts to get into this new phase called big yang, okay? Leadership. And I think every man should basically learn the art of leadership. Just like We know we learn how to become workers and things like that. We should all learn to be leaders, and maybe not everyone can do that. But I think in every area of life, we can have some level of leadership. And leadership is basically really being in touch with your values and enforcing, if you need to enforce, when the conditions ask for it, that value system, or at least being ethical enough to live that value system in yourself, not just be like this collapsed being. Men and women have to do that both. But really, women have to do that too, and that's a kind of like a masculine ability to enforce that, and and they need to have that ability, just like men have to have the feminine ability of being able to feel more, being able to be yielding more. It's like the whole idea of like that really thick, strong tree that breaks because it's just too strong, it's too rigid, and like that wispy kind of tree that can move through the wind, kind of can handle the wind. It's no problem. Whereas if you just kind of rip a part of that tree off, it'll kind of easily come off. So, it has strengths and weaknesses in both, right? That big tree you can't really break down. It's hard to break down, but the wind gets it. So you have to be able to be flexible in different situations. We're not a tree. We're beings. So you have to, we could do more different things in our environment. So man becomes big yang, okay? And this is my theory, and I've never heard anyone say this, but I think when big yang becomes so big, he basically becomes, it goes into a collapse state, and it becomes a big yin. And little yin at this point, because it's relative, that woman energy gets sucked into that world. This explains all sorts of phenomenon where there's like these kind of like famous men, it could be a rock star, it could be all sorts of different kind of environments that they basically dominate their space, and they're kind of outside of their kind of body in a way. They've gone into big yang or bigger yang, because there's really big yang. Like the United States president is very big yang, okay? Think about it. He controls these like missiles, or he can get access to these missiles and things like that no one in the world could get access to, and these are like big, phallic symbols. So, this is a lot of power. So, this is like, whoa, big yang, respect. And I think a lot of times, young men, the gun is a powerful, symbol of big yang, but that doesn't really give you the power of big yang. That's false big yang, okay? There's a difference. So you have to have the substance, you have to have the abilities to, because really gun is like the destructive weapon of it's really a weapon. It doesn't really construct anything. It can protect you, but that's still reactive, okay? You want to have the gun of the mind, okay? So you're actively using that power to not destroy, but create, right? So that's the basic idea of big yang, and I believe that when more men engage in that dimension, that aspect of their masculine energy, you're gonna have a better world. You're just gonna have much more happier men, because they're gonna attract the type of women they want in their life, but not just women, other men too. But when you're a leader, people just get attracted to you, and leadership is a great thing because you're living your values. That's what leadership is really about. And sometimes if your values coincide with someone else's and they're a leader, you can just follow them. It's not only about like, I'm the leader at all costs, every time, no matter what, big gang, doesn't work like that. That's immature. A great leader is a great follower. So it's about being able to be flexible. It's like my video on frames. You have to be able to shift the frame, to get to where you want to go. And that's it, big gang.